Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is John from Models by John Michael. Y'all could go ahead and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. That would be great. Be sure to hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss anything. And also follow me on Instagram and Facebook and check out some of the stuff that I got posted over there. So if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you know that I've been working on the Tamiya F-14A model kit. And so here's the version of it. It's actually the carrier takeoff version. I think this kit came out 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. They have a couple of different F-14s out there. This one, however, the wings are stationary and they're actually in the opened position or the wide position for takeoff. And I have seen some other ones where the wings are either you can position them as you want to, or they're in the swept back position. So just be aware of that each kit has its own little thing going on. But I'll show you the kit on what it looks like right now. So I've got the cockpit all built out except for the seats and pilots. Those are actually later additions. And actually I'm working on those right now. And then on the bottom there, you've got the forward landing gear and then the two main landing gear on there. The intakes are all built out, and then I do not have the exhausts in there. So in a previous video, I went and I talked about model kits according to your skill level. I still stand by what I said for this model kit because it has a very high parts count. There's a lot going on for it. You can do 4 different versions of this airplane. So there's a lot to keep track of, a lot of parts and a lot of things going on. So I would still recommend this for a more advanced model builder. And I'll tell you right up front, before I started this kit, I was pretty intimidated by it because of all of the parts and everything else that's going on with this kit. But as I've gone through it, in true Tamiya fashion, this kit builds up just flawlessly, for lack of a better word. And I have really, really enjoyed putting this thing together up to this point. So now what I had to do actually was I had to skip around a little bit in the instruction manual. The reason why, so once you get to this point, the next thing you're supposed to do is put the exhausts on. But I'm skipping that for now. And the reason being is because I want to get to the point where I can paint, the body. But in order to do that, I have to finish up the cockpit. In other words, I have to paint the seats, I have to get the pilots in there, and then the next thing I have to, of course, close it off with the canopies. The canopy for this comes in 2 pieces. So you have the forward part, which is your windscreen here, this, and then you have the main canopy, which is the longer part here. One thing to note about this canopy, and this is another reason why I wouldn't recommend this for a newer model builder, is because there is a seam, there's a molding seam that goes right down the middle of this. Now, I'm going to have to look up on exactly how to sand this out, but I did go ahead and I picked up some fine grit sanding paper. So this comes with 1200, 1500, and 2000 grit sanding paper. These are actually supposed to go on a sanding block, these long sheets. However, I could not find the sanding block. I suppose I could fashion one on my own, maybe like a sponge or something like that. But I think I'm just going to use these by hand. And then I also do have the Tamiya polishing sponges too. So once I've got everything all sanded and the line all eliminated, everything else, I can go ahead and polish everything up. But that's going to come, later on. The other thing too is on the inside of the forward windscreen, right here in the middle, I see this oval part. I don't know if you can, there we go. Not too bad of a glare there. So that oval type part right there, that is actually supposed to be blue. It actually tells you to use Tamiya blue, the clear blue, which is, this one here, X23, on the inside of the windscreen. And that will simulate the tempered glass that is actually inside of that part of the for the F-14. So just something to be aware of as you go through this thing. But as I was saying, this kit builds up beautifully. There are 4 different versions of markings that you can do. So and it's denoted in the instruction manual by A, B, C, and D. That doesn't mean version A, like version B, version C, version D, obviously, because this is the F-14A Tomcat. So it's not the B model or anything like that. So Tamiya just does that to help you keep track of your markings and how you're going to build it out, because there are certain components you'll put into the plane or the model kit as you're building it. Everything from what's in the cockpit to the weapons you're putting on it, things like that. So it's just something to be aware of. Now, instead of the markings that come with this particular kit, because there are, like I said, 4 different versions you can do, I picked up some of my own. These are the mil-spec decals. Of course, I'm going to do the Jolly Roger squadron. Now, I know the Jolly Roger has been done a lot. I've seen a lot of F-14s with the Jolly Roger markings on them. Tamiya does have a kit with the Jolly Roger markings already in the box, but I went ahead and picked up my own because the version that I got did not have the Jolly Roger markings in it. So there you have it. That's really all I got for this video. I will post more as I get further along in this build. In true Tamiya fashion, that, like I said, it's been a great kit, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think if you're an advanced model builder, you would enjoy this kit as well. If you don't have one in your stash, I would consider picking this F-14 or any of the other F-14 Tamiya kits that are out there. I don't have any experience with any of the other ones from any of them. I think Hobby Boss makes one. I believe that I think Italeri makes one. I could be wrong on that. Please don't take my word as gospel. But there are some other kits out there. I think Revell makes one. So I think it all depends on what you're looking for, and obviously price point, because I think this particular kit was over $100. I want to say 110-ish, maybe $120 now for this particular kit. So it all comes down, obviously, to money. And then scale, too. I've seen some 148 scale, 172nd scale. I believe they have a 132nd scale. I think Tamiya makes a 132nd scale. So, I mean, this is already a pretty darn big plane. So I can only imagine what the 132nd scale is like. So just to, I mean, if I had to guess, this is probably maybe a foot long, maybe a little over a foot long at this point in time. So just to give you an idea, I think the 132nd scale would definitely, most likely be probably right around the, I don't know, foot and a half, maybe close to that in size. So, and obviously, when you build models, it comes down to how much room you've got to display and how to build your models. So I think I've said to you guys before, I have a 1/24th scale Stuka that I want to build, but I'm holding off on that because, one, I don't have the room to display it, at least not yet. I will eventually. And two, it's just a big kit. And again, I find it a little intimidating, but maybe I'll be less intimidated by it once I get this thing finished. And the other thing is too, the progress on this kit has actually gone fairly fast up to this point. So kind of, to me, that's a testament to Tamiya's engineering and the design that they put into their kits. So again, I'm a Tamiya fanboy. I don't know what else to tell you. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate all y'all. Take care. Happy modeling.